Hi Libra, this is going to be your channeled message for the 7th through the 12th of December. As always, keep in mind, you guys, this is a general reading. It is not going to resonate with everyone that watches. Things could be opposite and roles could be reversed as well. Remember that time is fluid, so this might have already happened or it might be about to come in. If you're new, welcome to Soma Chandra Libra. This is a channel dedicated just to Libra and Sagittarius. Link to my website to check out private readings and my other light work offerings is down in the description below. Subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I read for you. All right, Libra, let's begin. So strong focus on relationships for sure at this time. The main focus is relationships, but more than relationships, it's about who you're attracted to and why. This card says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So strong themes about relationships over the next 5 days, like who you're attracted to, why you're attracted to them. Do they serve your highest good? Are they bringing out the best in you? Are they bringing out the worst in you? There is a lot of adversity for you right now, inner conflict or maybe outer conflict. There are challenges that you need to accept. I love what this card says about adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. So you may be facing a challenge in a relationship right now and you're being asked to learn something. Learning means something new, and that can be uncomfortable and difficult for some of us. A lot of cards came out of this deck. Typically, I only take 2 to 3, but more came out, so I let them all come out. Death, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. Fear, I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Grief, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Forgiveness, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And then blame, I accept responsibility for my well-being. Wow. So it's interesting. Over the weekend and the last couple of days, I've been putting out on my Instagram, which houses most of my coaching stuff, which is entirely separate from tarot. I've been talking a lot about the 5 stages of grief and healing. And I think that some of you might be working through that, but you're struggling to get to that place of acceptance. Because the stages of accepting endings and death, like before we can accept that a death really brings a new beginning, a lot of us work through denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then we get to acceptance. So I think that a lot of you are grieving something right now. You feel as though something is over and you're losing something, and you're trying to forgive and let go and make room in your heart for true love and true opportunities, maybe not just in love, but in other parts of your life. But it's difficult to do that because I think that you're afraid to let go of love. I am getting an interesting message off of this card. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Some of you aren't sure you want to live in the energy of love. Some of you are hanging on to an energy of love and insisting that you live in it, whether it is present for you or not. Love is always present for you to experience, but who you want to experience it with and how you want to experience it might not be showing up the way you want to. Some of you may be hanging on to something because it's really hard to let it go. You're being challenged to learn a new way to work through a death process. I think you're trying not to harbor resentment, but when we have forgiveness followed by blame, that's really hard. Someone may be blaming you for something and you're like, I'm trying to forgive you for that. But some of you might be toggling back and forth between forgiveness and blame. Focus on accepting responsibility on your end before you point the finger at someone else. Like, let them be guilty for what they're guilty for, but don't necessarily expect them to admit that. They're not here to admit what they've done wrong so much as I think at this point you need to focus on maybe what you've done wrong and what you want to correct moving forward. Because it's really about taking responsibility for your own well-being and not putting your well-being and love and happiness completely in the hands of another person. And I think that that's a struggle here for you because something is ending, and that's causing a lot of fear and grief and a triggered reaction of blame. And it's all about whether or not a relationship is for your best interest or their best interest. It's going to be a challenge. It's definitely going to be a challenge. You're being asked to learn a new way of handling something, I think. A lot of cards came out of my astrology deck as well. The South Node, Chiron, oh, that wounded healer. Chiron, the asteroid that represents like our Achilles heel and a wound that keeps being ripped open over and over and over again. And it's really time to try to find a new modality and applicable, practical way to heal it. I do think that you are working on that, but you're thinking a lot about the past. You're going to do a lot of life review right now. And when I have the South Node and the North Node. So, wow. Here's the thing about the South Node and the North Node. You were born swimming in this ocean. Whatever your South Node sign is, there are no more lessons to learn by embodying that sign. You're not going to learn your lessons through the embodiment of your South Node sign. Right now, the South Node happens to be in Libra for globally, and the North Node is in Aries. So, but your South Node may be different. But the South Node is something like you've already learned all your lessons embodying those traits, but you can always fall back on them when you need to. But if you stay in your South Node traits, you won't really become more well-rounded. So we can't stay stuck hanging out in the South Node. But I think you're going back and doing some life review for the purpose of healing. You are on a journey. You are progressing forward towards Venus, your planet, our planet. I'm a Libra too, which is about experiencing not just love, but abundance. A lot of people overlook this about Venus. We all think, oh, Venus is the planet of love and relationship. It's more than that. Venus is thrive energy. Mars is survive energy. Venus is thrive, you know. Mars is scrappy. He'll get it done. Venus is bougie. She likes to be worshipped. She likes to take it easy. She likes to be fed grapes on the beach, right? And she also influences our relationship with the material plane. You do have a second house activation coming out as well, further into December. So you are journeying towards that feeling of thrive energy, of love and abundance. The card does say beloved and the North Node. So working on healing the past. I also just heard healing your version of the past. The further and further away we get from the past, our memories and the way we recall things actually become pretty skewed. I'm hearing that some of you might be struggling to go back in time and remember things exactly how they happened. Just focus on the healing and the forward motion, because as you heal from your past, you progress towards this nurturing, abundant energy of Venus. I always feel like Venus and Jupiter are the most abundant planets. Mars and Mercury help get us there, right? Individually. And moving towards this future, I think that with the North Node coming out, you're definitely being challenged to do things differently. I mean, when you're hanging out in your South Node energy, you're like an Olympic champion. When you get into your North Node energy, you have to have a beginner's mindset. It's like you went from being like a world-class cyclist to being back on training wheels again, because you're learning a new way of being. You're being asked to step outside of a comfort zone and embody traits that feel somewhat familiar to you, but challenge you to a degree. So new types of ways of being in love and with money and your relationship with the material plane as well. And I was like, okay, I feel like a lot of this is about letting go of old relationships, letting go of things that aren't serving you, trying to work through like grief and anger and denial and bargaining and trying to get to a place of acceptance so that you can let go of the past and truly heal and journey towards real love, real thrive energy, real abundance, even if it means stepping outside of your comfort zone a little bit. Like that North Node is calling you. And it seems to be very much about relationship. But I was like, okay, what else is going on in Libra's life? Ceres came out. So 2 asteroids are influencing you guys right now. Chiron and Ceres. I forget what Ceres trajectory is in the solar system. I'm a bad astrologist. But you're meant to be nurturing something at this time. Nurturing what? Your midheaven. Midheaven represents the pinnacle of your success. My midheaven's in Cancer. My moon and my Saturn are also in Cancer too. And I really love that because that helps propel me towards a pinnacle of success. I'm telling you guys that for a reason. I'm hearing that like some of you also need to look at your midheaven and see if that sign is anywhere, like what other planetary bodies are in the same sign. You'll have a lot of momentum if your midheaven is also like your moon or your Mercury or your Mars or one of your bigger planets. But I do see that you're nurturing something. You're nurturing your talents. You're nurturing the best parts of yourself. If you nurture that midheaven placement and try to like work through the shadow traits of that sign and really focus on the highest expression, there could be success for you moving forward. But Uranus is also coming out. This is a giant rebellious planet that affects us globally and collectively, almost more so than individually. It's like a generational planet. Uranus happens to be retrograding in Taurus right now. It's not really happy in Taurus. Taurus and Uranus like are sort of counterintuitive to one another. But I feel like it's really in the thick of it right now because it's going to be retrograding in Taurus until May of next year. So basically, there's a need to really look at what you've outgrown that you're still doing. Because Taurus is like what's working and what's practical, which is great, right? What's working, what's practical? Let's think like earth signs. I have a lot of air in my chart, but I can think like an earth sign. I actually like thinking like an earth sign. It does me a world of good to act like, think like a Taurus from time to time. And we get Taurus because we're Libra and Taurus are ruled by the same planet. So Uranus in Taurus doesn't feel 100% foreign or weird to Libra. But there's this need to focus on what you have really outgrown that you're struggling to stop doing. Like something is just like those jeans are just not going to fit anymore. Something definitely needs to change. So I feel like there's a nurturing of change and bringing in a lot of structure with it too, with Taurus being in Uranus right now. And it's leading you to focus on your vision with Neptune. Like something may need to change for career for you or life path for you. You need to nurture the traits that will bring change into your life, help you focus on what will bring you a pinnacle of success, and focusing on your vision. Neptune and Pisces, I've always found Neptune to be a little bit of a dangerous planet, especially for me. I think a lot of people struggle with Neptune because there's a lot of spiritual growth associated with Neptune. But what Neptune really wants to help you do is to discern between fact and fiction, to discern between fantasy that's just not serving you anything. It's like, are you checking out in a fantasy to self-soothe to help you deal with a reality? Ouch, that can be hard to face. Or do you have a fantasy that could actually be a dream that could legitimately come true and help you reach the pinnacle of your success? It will require you to nurture yourself and nurture your talents as well. And it will also ask you to be rebellious and change your vision. Are we focusing on fantasy or dreams that can actually come true? Vision is good to have. Human beings are really impacted by Neptune because we have these big, highly creative brains. Like we fantasize and daydream like no other animal on the planet. So I feel like you're being encouraged to not let go of a vision, but to change a vision and ask yourself, with my change and with the focus on a vision, can I nurture my success? Some of you might be thinking about changing career paths. I wanted to know what the vision was about. When Neptune came out and Uranus, I'm like, ooh, what are they changing? What vision is changing for them? What do they need to nurture? What do they need to use those midheaven traits to help get them towards? I'm telling you, The answer is going to be in your midheaven and your north node. Look up that part of your chart. Look at what house it falls into. You can go to Astro Cafe or astrology.com. You can get a full report for free. But I wanted to know what it was about, and what came out was the second house and the fifth house. Fifth house is about dating and romance, but more so than that, that's Leo's house. The fifth house is about creating things that you're really proud of and sharing them with the world. There's a lot of creativity. I mean, it's got an easel on it. See the easel? It's creative. And the second house very much falls into alignment with Venus that just came out, which is about your thrive energy, your access to money and resources, your potential for earning income, money, assets, resources, and how that affects your self-esteem, your sense of self, your feeling of self-worth. I think that some of you in December are going to maybe think about, you may have a new vision about how to turn a creative passion that might just be a hobby into something lucrative for you. And I think that that's really cool, because that all kind of, I think that's going to lead to something in your 10th house potentially, which is about prestige and career. But you're being asked to nurture creative talents. You're being asked to nurture your money. You're being asked to focus on your vision. And you're really being asked, I can't remember where Neptune is right now, but I know that Uranus is retrograding like a mofo in Taurus right now. Something really does need to change. And I think a vision that, I mean, Spirit's predicting this for you, a vision that you have that will help you nurture the pinnacle of your success might involve creating things that you're proud of that can bring in a second source of income. I'm also hearing that some of you are teachers, and you may want to teach something to someone that could bring in earning potential. You may also want to teach people about money. I think you want your creative endeavors to lead to more financial stability for you at this time, which is really interesting. Okay, they wanted me to do a very, very basic strip down spread, super basic and stripped down. I used the Psychic Tarot, which eliminates court cards and tens. And then I clarified it with a full tarot deck. So also, right, Capricorn's at the bottom of the deck, an achievement. So you are trying to achieve. I do think you're climbing a mountain at this time. Stay on the path of climbing, Libra. It's going to be a process for you of nurturing a talent that's creative that you can share with the world, okay? And stay focused on how that relates to money and resources. And is it realistic? Is it a fantasy, or is it just a dream? It can turn into a dream, right? You're going to have to believe in yourself, and you're going to have to be shrewd, and you're going to have to work really freaking hard. And you may have to work within limitations, and it will feel like an uphill climb, but Capricorn is like, there is no summit you cannot reach. You're going to have to go for it. If you have Capricorn in your chart, it will help you. But the energy you're in right now is the Six of Swords. The way you're feeling is the Two of Swords, and your action at this time is the High Priestess. Someone in your energy. Take it as it resonates for you, okay? This could be an extension of you into the environment, like you're projecting this. And I have to account for that because this is a general reading. Or it could be someone around you and their action towards you. The way they see themselves right now is the Four of Pentacles. The way they're feeling right now is the World. So endings and new beginnings. And their action is the Emperor. This person wants to have a lot of authority. Aries energy here, a lot of Pisces energy here. There's Aquarius energy here, water and air energy. We have Virgo showing up, a little bit of Gemini, Scorpio, and Leo. Okay? You could be dealing with people that have those in their chart. So moving on, it's a rite of passage with the Six of Swords, right? We're leaving behind conflict, loss, and change, and we're really just trying to move forward. There's always like a begrudging feeling though with the Six of Swords. It's like, something didn't really work out, but you're just tired of fighting for something and you're trying to move on. You may feel as though you're in a place of transition. Clarifying, this is the High Priestess, that's Pisces, or Cancer sometimes as well. Two of Cups and Ace of Cups. Okay, really listening to your intuition, wanting to connect with someone. Also, you might be really trying to connect with yourself. Sometimes the Two of Cups for me is really about looking yourself in the mirror and having a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself. And then having a heart-to-heart conversation with someone else about what? A new beginning, creativity, love, romance. It could be any one of those things. And I think that you're really thinking about it. A lot is going on underneath the surface for you the next couple of days because the High Priestess is pretty tight-lipped. And she doesn't chase anyone. People come to her and talk to her. Some of you may find that you're counseling other people about their cycles of love. I'm also hearing something about health as well a little bit, but they're not telling me any more than that. But I can see that you're trying to move forward, let go of what no longer serves you, and open up to new love. But you're at kind of an intellectual impasse. Any of you that have a moon in Gemini, Libra, Aquarius are going to feel this the strongest. When we have air in the moon, we often deal with emotions like this. The card says mental conflict. So you're at a bit of an intellectual impasse about how you feel about starting a new cycle of love or creativity. And I think you feel a little unconfident or insecure, otherwise you wouldn't be tapping into your intuition. We do that when we're hesitating and we're not 100% trusting of the environment. We need to tap into our psychic intuition to really make sure we're on the right path. And I think that for the next couple days, you won't really be sure how you feel about something. You might be intellectualizing your feelings. Again, especially if you have a moon that's Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. People think that that's difficult. When I talk to people that have air in their moon, it's not hard for them. They just need to think their way through their feelings. And I think that you are right now too, clarifying this is the Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit with the Page of Cups. I think you're really questioning your own timing at this point. I mean, when I get the Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit, that's very much, I need to rethink my whole life kind of energy. Like, what cycles have I been playing out? Like, this is super 12th house, like thinking about our karma, doing a lot of self-reflection with the Hermit. I love Virgo energy. They can be very punishing of themselves, though. So watch out for being too critical of yourself and overthinking the crap out of it. Some of you really are thinking about the cycles you've played out. And when it comes to starting this new cycle with the Ace of Cups, you're going to have a conversation with someone about it. You're going to have a conversation with yourself about it. And you're going to need to think about the past cycles that you've played out. I think you're trying to decide whether or not you want to be vulnerable and test the waters with someone or with a situation. Page of Cups can be a little, hey, how are you? A little bit of an apology sometimes for some of us. But also pages explore and study. All these little people do is dip their toe in the water, right? And there's a vulnerability there when an adult is embodying the Page of Cups. So I think with the Two of Swords, you're really not sure that this is what you want to do. And it's a question of timing for you as well. Some of you are struggling to open up to something new. And it's something that you really want to do. And it's not just about love. For some of you, I think it's about career or life path. Here we are with the High Priestess again, listening to the intuition. She's being quiet. Pisces. I feel you Pisces people in here with Libra also in your chart. Two females are showing up here. So when the queens come out, we're creating an environment. When a king comes out, we're sustaining the environment, right? So some of you have a feminine on your mind. Some of you, you are in the feminine energy. Masculines, don't be afraid to be in feminine energy. And ladies, don't be afraid to be in masculine energy. We all have yin and yang energy here, right? It's fluid. So listening to your intuition, Queen of Swords. She is looking a little icy. She definitely doesn't want to get her heart broken. She wants to clearly communicate. She wants to be very direct, he or she. So trying to create an environment where there's clear communications, boundaries are clearly stated. I also feel like with the High Priestess coming out with the Queen of Swords, some of you are feeling a little cold inside right now. But I think it's because you're just really wound up in your head about something. You might be feeling like a prisoner in your own mind right now, Libra. So don't spend too much time in prayer and meditation. Look, as the High Priestess and the Hermit have come out, they're loners, they're very renegade, they're very much the black sheep. They go against the grain. They silently, quietly challenge the whole system by not falling in and not playing along. Like the Hierophant and the Hermit are the opposite of the Hierophant, okay? Or the Hermit and the High Priestess are the opposite of the Hierophant to a degree. They kind of don't fall in line with the fellowship of the group. They feel the need to sort of separate themselves. And I do think you want to be seen as different. And I think you want to be taken seriously too. But you're working it over in your own head a lot. I do like the Queen of Cups coming out. Now, some of you might just be concerned about a water sign or concerned about another air sign. You don't know quite what to do with that person. That could be a Pisces. But some of you have air and water in your chart, and this Queen of Cups has turned back, and it's like, I'm feeling like a lot of you really want to nurture yourselves right now. The Queen of Cups in general as an archetype and as a spiritual lesson is you have to have a lot of self-love and emotional maturity and emotional intelligence to be able to create that loving environment for other people as well. Like if you can't create it for yourself, it's going to be a struggle to create it for other people. And I think you're having a hard time determining who you want to be here. Do I want to give love to someone, or do I want to tell them what to do here? Like which queen energy do I lead with? Do I wear my intellect on my sleeve, or do I wear my heart on my sleeve? Your intellect looks like it's driving you crazy. Trust that you're smart, Libra, and trust that you know how to love and nurture yourself. I do think the quietness of the High Priestess with the Queen of Cups, you guys are trying to create that self-love for yourself. But I feel like there's another part of you that's being a little too hard on you. Some of you might really feel a lot of duality in your personalities right now, obviously, because the two came out, your two, the Two of Swords. Some of you want to be harsh and kind of cold and straightforward and push people away, but others of you want to be more loving, forgiving, generous, kind, nurturing. You can be both. Watch out for spending too much time alone. I wanted to know what the Queen of Cups, she looked really lost in thought to me. We have a King of Cups over here. So you and another person may have a similar way of processing and expressing emotions at different times. With this Queen of Cups, I have the Star, the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. Okay. There's a part of you that's really hopeful that something will work out. And you're going to send your messages about that. And you may say that you're really willing to leave something behind. You also may be freeing yourself from a situation and really walking away from it so that you can open yourself up to new love and a new cycle. I also think that some of you are saying the Two of Swords is a no to something. I'm not going to do this cycle where I spend a lot of time alone thinking about it and then turn around and reach out. And if I do, the timing has to be right. Some of you are struggling to let go of a person. Am I mad at them? Do I want to tell them what to do? Or do I love them? I also think that any of you that are receiving messages from a Queen of Swords or a Queen of Cups aren't 100% sure how to interpret them. Those messages might be making you a little nervous with the Eight of Swords. But I do think that you have a lot of hope for a renewal. And this is Aquarius. The star is Aquarius. You have an activation of Aquarius's planet, Uranus. So something really does need to change in order for you to feel that sense of freedom. There may be a quick progress made in this, and you may be able to leave a lot behind. I think that this is what your intuition is working through right now. How do I get this freedom? How do I really walk away from things that aren't serving me? How do I love myself? How do I directly communicate? It's all new for you. It's a struggle. The struggle is real, but it's really all about making a decision about new cycles and what kind of relationships that you have that serve your highest good. I don't care what kind of relationship it is. We're not just having relationships with people. We have relationships with careers, even the places that we live. Watch out for that blame game though, okay? Because there's a lot of deception happening here. For sure. There's deception and envy maybe going on. You may be experiencing deception and jealousy and envy. Like you may be hiding a jealousy or an envious feeling. Someone may be hiding that from you. But in general, the Seven of Swords is like needing to tread lightly and a feeling of insecurity. Whenever the Seven of Swords comes out, we don't really feel comfortable being our true selves. We feel like we have to tread very, very lightly. Someone might be experiencing some imposter syndrome as well. I think that's not you. I think it's this person. So I'm hearing two different messages, okay? So take it as it resonates for you. I apologize for the length. I have to read and move through both. Four of Pentacles. Okay. Fours are about stability. This person is trying to create a stability for themselves. They do not want to let go of their firm foundation. If they're focused on money, they go pinch pennies. If they owe you any money, they're not going to give you too much. This person feels the need to hold on to everything that they have at this time, because if they let go of anything, they're going to lose their foundation. They're going to lose a feeling of stability. Clarifying this is the Page of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. If there is at all children involved, and I do have 2 pages, I have 3 pages actually, so there might be. This person may feel responsible for a child, but they might not have a lot to give right now. They could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This person may be keeping an eye on a water sign, because I noticed the Page of Swords is looking at the King of Cups. But this person does look a little jittery. Like, what are you talking about? What are you saying to me? They're curious, but they also look a little defensive. They have it in them to be very emotionally stable and grounded at times. This person might be kind of overwhelmed right now with the Ten of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. Like, they're carrying a lot of burdens. They're at the end of a cycle. They're struggling to let that go. I do think that this person holds back. They might even be experiencing a bit of shame that they can't contribute more, but they're hanging on to everything they have so that they can keep that emotional stability. So you have something in common with the King and Queen of Cups. You're both trying to figure out how to maintain your own emotional stability, but it may be difficult for you to communicate that to each other. This person is feeling the world. So because Death came out, I want you to know that if something ended between the two of you, this person is completely accepting that ending with the world. Clarifying the world is, this is all major arcana for this person. The Hangman, Justice, and Death. They could have Scorpio, Pisces, or Libra in their chart. This person is really letting something go. They feel like things have worked out the way they're supposed to with Justice. Fair is fair. It is what it is. And Death. I feel like this person is accepting a death and an ending of some kind in their life. And it might not be between the two of you, just in general, like the end of an era for them. They will accept consequences. They're being very logical and black and white about this. They're truly allowing something to die and transform, and they will just let it go. They will let it go. Often when the Hangman and Justice come up together, it's like it can often mean for a person that they have no choice but to accept the consequence of something. So endings for this person may be coming with consequences that they are fully accepting. They're fully accepting the need for transformation as well. That's how they feel, like they really need to let something die so something new can come into their life, but they are not showing or throwing aces like you are. You're showing a need for a new beginning. They're not. They're just trying to keep stability and trying to accept their choices, endings, and a potential new beginning. Their action is the Emperor, Aries. I actually really love this card. He's like, I'm the master of my domain. This person is definitely trying to maintain control and structure in their life. Very logical, very practical. This is very different energy from Aries' other card, which is the Fool, which is la la la. The Fool is a little bit of a ding-a-ling. The Emperor is not. There's a duality in Aries, and we're getting this structured boss man, boss woman kind of action coming off of them. They want to have a lot of authority here. They could be dealing with an Aries as well. Keep that in mind. So clarifying this is their action towards you though. The Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, so Seven of Swords twice, and the Three of Cups. I clarified the Seven of Swords and the Three of Cups, and I got the Nine of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Sun. Okay, let's get the difficult message out of the way. I think that this person, some of you, you're going separate ways from this person, but you're not sure when to do that. You're not sure if you should talk to them anymore. You're not sure if you love them or even what you think of them. Some of you are going to send a message and say, I'm walking away. You want that freedom, but a part of you still has hope with them, with this one person, or maybe it's just with someone new. So what I think here is this person, if that's happening between the two of you, this person does think about the time that the two of you had together, and they are a little nostalgic and a little maybe bummed out about it, but they're also going to sneak off and talk to other people. They might even be like hanging out or talking with people that you know. Seven of Swords and Three of Cups can be a gossip card. The Nine of Wands is looking back towards you. So this person might be being very guarded with you. Like they might be willing to be friends, but not much more than that. Page of Wands and the Sun, they're not at all settled down. They could be talking to a Leo right now. Maybe they have Leo in their chart. They want fun. They want to explore other things. They're accepting an ending with you. They have nothing else to give you. And don't bother them, Libra, because they kind of want you to leave them alone. I don't know that that's hard to hear. Because the Eight of Wands is sending messages and the Nine of Wands is like, I mean, just can you leave me alone? I'll have fun with you and talk to you, but I'm not at all settled down. As a matter of fact, I kind of want to talk to other people, even though I think about what happened between us. But another message I'm hearing, you guys, is that especially for those of you that like, this is a romantic partner or someone in your life that you're having a really good relationship with. There's no drama. This isn't about a breakup. There are things that are changing for you or for them. Watch relationships. For those of you that are like happily married or in a serious relationship, watch out for this stuff like going on around you or impacting your relationship, like your life. There's blaming going on. There's resentment that's being harbored. Something is ending. There's a lot of fear of the future. There's a lot of grief. Someone's trying to appreciate what really happened. There's a challenge. There's adversity. So this relationship stuff doesn't necessarily need to be happening between you and another person. Maybe this is happening with you and your family. Maybe this is happening with them and their ex or their boss or someone else in their life. Like these things are going to affect you guys. Something I'm hearing is that maybe your partner or your person they feel burdened in a lot of ways. They can't be as generous as they would normally be financially or with assets like the second house. They're accepting some kind of an ending in their life and moving into a new phase, and they want to have a lot of control. And there may be people around them that they are avoiding. I'm hearing it equal 50-50. For some of you guys, you need to hear that a person just kind of wants you to leave them alone. They're not going to be committal anyways. They'll talk to you and have fun with you, but they're going to talk to other people and have fun with them too. They're very careful about what they say to whom. For those of you that like you feel like you're in a really good relationship, you need to know that your partner or this person they may feel like the people around them don't really care about them and they just want gossip. They may think they're being talked about. They might not feel like they can trust any of their friends because their friends are like, hey, do you want to come out and play? And they're like, not really, because I know y'all are gossipy as fuck and I don't really like you and I'm tired of that and I want more structure in my relationships. I'm trying to be the King of Cups. I'm trying to let stuff go and try to maybe let new people in, but it's hard to trust. This person might be struggling to trust people around them. Even though everyone's like, let's have fun. Like they may feel like they can't be open and honest with the people around them, or that they don't trust the people around them, and they're really trying to stand up for themselves. So that's something you might need to know about. Like a relationship that you're in, like what's going on with my partner. This is what they're going through right now, maybe. And you're probably going through it to a degree. Those of you that are in a really good relationship, look, right now you're trying to be the King and Queen of Cups. This is about emotional intelligence and emotional maturity and being really compassionate and diplomatic, but also having really, really good emotional boundaries and being emotional leaders together in some way. That's if you're together. But there might be a lot of distrust of people outside of the relationship. There's also a lack of clarity here too with the moon. Well, the Ten of Swords is down here too. Okay, someone's really been through some pain. It may involve family. It may also involve a mother figure with the Empress. And there could be anger towards a mother figure. Also, I mean, you could be the Empress here. There's something going on with family and a maternal figure. She might be angry and spiteful. You might be feeling that way about her. So there's definitely like outside family influence for some of you. You have to have spiritual strength. Watch out for like sneakiness in relationships. Some of you really do need to get your partner to open up and be a little bit more honest with you about maybe what's going on outside of the relationship with friends, family, what their real endings and new beginnings are about. If they're the ones feeling like they can't be honest and they're insecure, or if they have deception and envy around them. I'm just waiting to see if any more messages come through. But others of you need to kind of move on and let someone go and let yourself really heal and know exactly how you're feeling before you move forward into new cycles of love. Any new cycle. It's really about timing and what your hopes are at this time. But don't lose focus on your second house and nurturing your gifts and talents, Libra. Like, what is your vision for yourself at this time? What are you willing to nurture to reach a pinnacle of success and achievement? What can you let go of? And what about relationships is distracting you away from doing that? That's important to think about over the next couple of days. Yeah. Okay, Libra, that is your long deep dive message for the next couple of days. I hope it resonates and I hope it helps. Link to my website is down in the description below. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Libra. Take care. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.